by R.K. Narayan. So this is a very important story for ICSE board, 9th standard children also, and for 10th standard children also. So in the 9th standard also, this story is in the syllabus, and for 10th standard, all the stories are in the syllabus, right? So first of all, children, we will try to know something about R.K. Narayan. So R.K. Narayan is one of the very famous writer. He is one of the very famous Indian writer, I must say. So who is R.K. Narayan? He is one of the very famous Indian writer and very successful writer also, I can say, who is best remembered for his stories set in the fictional South Indian town of Malgudi. So best known for this work which he has written, the fictional South Indian town of Malgudi. Narayan's writing style is very simple. So how he used to write the story? He used to write the story very simple, easy and unpretentious. So what is the meaning of unpretentious? See, this word is coming from pretend. Pretend means someone who is doing some acting. Unpretentious means in his story no such actings are there, or we can say no such false things are there. Whatever he has written is having a reality, is having the relation with the society, and we can see. And the story is very good in humor. Humor means the real things are only written, the real facts are written, but they are written in that sense which is making the audience and the reader to laugh. So that is called humor. How some of the writers, they used to write the poems on some of the politicians, and they used to speak so many points. We can say maximum the negative points, but then also everyone is laughing, including the politicians also. So that is the power of humor. So whenever any humor is written, children, that time no one is feeling bad. That is the real meaning of humor. So I cannot say that I am making fun of one child, all are laughing, so I am having the humorous quality. It can never be. Humor means no one should feel low. And compassion. So in his writing we can find humor in his writing. We can find compassion. Compassion means love for someone, affection for someone. Okay, when love is there for someone, affection is there for someone, that we can say that is called compassion. The compassion, the everyday lives of ordinary people, and generally the central character of his story used to be ordinary people. So why R.K. Narayan became very much famous children? Because once upon a time the peoples were writing or reading maximum the stories of king, queen, okay, the soldier who was very brave and victorious, right? So this type of stories were very common, and this type of stories were very good in market. But R.K. Narayan, he was from that group of writers. What they did, they start writing on the issue of ordinary people's life, and this made the difference. The people started reading, and the people started connecting, and when the people started feeling connected, what happened then? He became a very famous writer. Now, the following is an edited version of his story. So, a horse and two goats, which we are going to study, children, this is the edited version of his original story. Okay, edited means some changes here and there it has been done. But the central character, or we can say the theme of the story, the moral of the story, used to be always same. Narayan described what happens when an English-speaking American meets an illiterate South Indian villager. So in this story, what we are going to see, children, we are going to see that what happens when English-speaking American is meeting to illiterate South Indian villager. Okay, illiterate. Illiterate means the one who don't know how to read and write. But illiterate people can also be very good people. They can be bad also, but they can be good also. Okay, because literacy is not having any relation with your goodness or badness. Are you able to understand? He was living in the village, so here the word villager is used. So what he was knowing, he was only knowing Tamil and has never stepped outside his village. And we can say that the character about whom we are going to study, that character, whole life he has spent only in the village only. He never came out of the village also. Maybe no need was there. No need was there to move out. Okay, no work was there. So these things happen. The foreigner with his English is baffled by the incomprehensible and bizarre behavior of Mooney, while Mooney is equally mystified by the American system's words and tactics. So both are surprised by each other's way of speaking and how they are talking. Using the simplest of setting, Narayan has crafted a sensitive yet amusing story. So R.K. Narayan, he has written a very interesting story, making it very simple, so that we are going to see, which is rich in situational comedy. So his story is rich in, this particular story is very rich in comedy that we all are going to see. So page number 52. Of the 700,000 villages dotting the map of India, 700,000 villages. Let me write on the board. 700,000 villages. One stands 100,000 people, like 7 lakh villages. So out of 7 lakh villages, Kritam was probably the tiniest indicated on the district survey map by a microscopic dot. So Kritam, it was also the name of the village, and it was very small village. That also you can see with the help of microscope on the globe, on the map. But its size did not prevent its giving itself the grandiose name Kritam. But from the size you cannot say that the name is not suitable. Okay, Kritam, which means in Tamil coronet or crown. So Kritam is a Tamil word, and what is the meaning of this word? The meaning is coronet or crown. And the crown means it used to be generally on the head of the king. Okay. On the globe of this subcontinent, the village consisted of less than 30 houses. And in this house, okay, Kritam, what is their children? You can see 30 houses are there. And here the writer is using the word less than 30 houses. 30 houses also not there. Less than 30 houses are there in Kritam. Less than 30 houses are there in Kritam. So, if you have visited village, then you can also remember so many houses are there, right? And 30 houses are not nowadays in Kolni also. If you are living in Patna, you can understand that in one Kolni also there are so many houses, not 30 houses. So very small village it it is only one of them built with brick and cement. So out of 30 houses, only one house was there, which was made with the help of the brick and cement. And rest all the houses they were hut. Okay, have you seen the hut which is made from the wood? No, which is made from the mud part, straw part, the hut they are making. Painted a brilliant yellow and blue all over with gorgeous carving of gods and gargoyles on its balustrade. So only one house was there, children, which was made from the cement, which was made from the bricks, and it was having very nice painting of blue color and yellow color. And on the walls, what they all were able to see, on the walls, they all were able to see the images of God and Goddess and very nice painting, okay, on the walls also, and what the design of the house was coming downside, that also. It was known as the big house. And this house was famous in the town by the name of the big house. Because all the houses are of hut, all the houses are made of mud and straw and these things we can understand. So this house is having the name big house. The other house is distributed in 4 streets. So 30 houses are there. How many streets? 4 streets. And these they were generally of bamboo, tarp, straw, mud and other unspecified material. So sometimes children from the house also people used to think that the owner is how much blessed. If anyone is having a small house and if the house is not painted also, the people will think that the person is a poor person, right? If anyone is having the big house and the house is not painted, they will think these family members are not happy. If anyone is having the big house, painted house, colorful, they will think rich and happy, right? So like this from the house also used to be our reflection what the others can think. And what about them who are not having the houses only? Okay, what about them? Right? Who are not having the houses only. So they used to be generally very low in the society. They used to be good people only, but they are not speaking much in the society. Okay, having very good relation with everyone like this. So Munish was the last house in the 4th street. So one character is coming here, and the name of the character is Muni. So generally this type of name used to be in India only, children. Okay, and it can be in North India, it can be in South India. Beyond which stretch the field, and then the field is there. So village is there means agricultural land will be there, and the agricultural land is only called field. In his prosperous days, Muni had owned a flock of 40 sheep and goats, and sailed forth every morning, driving the flock to the highway a couple of miles away. So some prosperous days was also there in the life of Muni. Prosperous means happy time, blessed time. When she was having how many? Flock of 40 sheep and goats. Means together they were how many? 40. And sailed forth every morning, driving the flock to the highway a couple of miles away. And every morning she was taking all the animals to the highway, okay? And then she was making the animals to go to the highway with her, and then she was making to return also. And where the highway was, couple of miles. So miles generally used to be more than 1.5 kilometers. So nearly 3 kilometers she was going with the animals every day, and she was returning back. When? In the golden days. Okay. And children, here I want to add some more thing. What I want to add, that sometimes The peoples are calculating income or prosperity on the basis of what you have, what you possess also. That once upon a time the peoples were calculating, or still even now in the villages, that how many animals you are having. Okay, for example, you are having 20 buffaloes, you are a rich person in the village. Okay, 50 cows you are having, you are the richest person. But nowadays in the city, if I talk about, if you are having 4, 5, 6 four-wheeler, you are a rich person. So like this the people used to judge. Okay. Then there who he would sit on the pedestal of a clay statue of a horse. So what will happen? So what the Muni is doing, he is sitting on the pedestal. Pedestal means the path on which we used to walk on the field. That path is called pedestal. The path on which we are walking on field, that path is called pedestal. And on the pedestal one statue is there of the horse, and the statue of a horse while his cattle graze around. So that time the cattle are grazing all around, and that time what the Muni is doing, he is sitting on the statue of the horse. Okay. So actually this should not be done. We should give respect to all the architecture, either it can be statue or anyone. And if you all started sitting on that, then what will happen? It will break down and we can lose the heritage. But he is not aware. Okay. So there are two types of people, children. One, they don't know the rules, so they don't know how to follow this, why to follow this. So I can say they are the innocent peoples. Okay. Second, they know the rules and regulation, they break the rules and regulation, and they know that how they can be safe. So I can say they are not the good peoples. Okay. He carried a crook at the end of a bamboo pole and snapped foliage from the avenue trees to feed his flock. So like this, he is breaking the parts also there, and he started feeding. So he started feeding own animal and the avenue tree to feed his flock. Flock means the 40 which the sheep are there and the goats are there. He also gathered fat goats and dry stick. And what he gathered also, dry stick. Okay, see whatever the important thing he was getting, he started gathering also in between. Bundled them and carried them home for fuel at sunset. So in the olden days, this was happening that the people were going nearby the forest, okay, or to the forest also we can say, that much area only where the wild animals are not coming, and there they started collecting the woods. And when they were returning, they were what they were doing? They were burning the woods for cooking also, or maybe for any work. So he said that it will become the fuel at sunset. So till now, children, what we all have seen, till now we have seen about Muni. That Muni, who is Muni? Muni is one of the character in the story which is written by R.K. Narayan, who is having once upon a time the prosperous time period, and in the prosperous time period the flock of group of 40 sheep and goats he was having. And when he was taking all these goods to the highway to graze, that time he was sitting on the statue of this horse, and that time he was collecting the sticks and he was bringing it back, like this much we have seen. Same page number 52, second paragraph. His wife lit the domestic fire at dawn. So domestic fire at dawn. So here one word is coming, children, dawn. So the time period after the sunset, So the time period after the sunset is called dawn. But that time what used to happen, children? That time also light is there. Okay, means completely black darkness it is not becoming. That is dawn. And the time before the sunrise, it is called. No, I am speaking opposite. Dawn is the time period before the sunrise. Okay, before the sunrise. And dusk is the time period after the sunset. So maybe because of the heat, my knowledge is also shifting from here and there. Okay, my mistake. I hope it will not be repeated. Okay. So children, we can understand the dawn part is here. So his wife lit the domestic fire at dawn before the sunrise only. She is lighting the domestic fire to cook the food maybe. And now also children, if you go to the village, you will be surprised to see that mostly they all used to wake up at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock only. Okay, 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. But if you come to town, if you come to the big cities like Patna, what you can find out that here people are sleeping only at 3 o'clock. Right? Some people, especially children, so boil water in a mud pot, threw it into it a handful millet flour, added salt, and give him his first nourishment of for the day. So what she is doing, she is boiling the water in a mud pot, threw into handful of millet flour. Flour she is having, and then mixing the salt, and this is the first nourishment. This is the first thing which is given for the day. When he started out, she would put in his hand a packet lunch. Once again, the same millet cooked into a little ball. So what he is getting in the lunch also, that also we can see that the millet which are cooked like a little ball in the so many people can cook in so many different ways, which he could swallow with a raw onion and with it. So raw onion, that he is taking. So these things are about the good fortune. Now my question is there. If you are living the life of Muni, means if you are having the 40 animals with you and every day you have to graze them 3 kilometers, right? You have to collect the sticks for your family. Then in the lunch you are eating this only. Okay. So the raw onion with this millet which is in the round structure. Can you say this is the good fortune? Maybe you will say no, sir. Maybe you can say that, sir, when I am having a big building, a good job, and the good respect in the society and a good car, then only I am having the good luck. So the definition of luck used to vary from person to person. Okay. So the one who is having only 4 buffaloes can think that I am a rich person. He can think this and he can be right. Because the richness and poorness are first of all only a feeling. The richness and poorness are first of all only a feeling. The one who is having 4 buffaloes is thinking I am rich. Because in my village no one is having 4 buffaloes. And the one who is living in the city, maybe not all I am talking about, anyone who is having 4 or 5 buildings, 4 or 5 cars also, is thinking I am little bit poor. I am not having that much how much that person is having. I am not that much rich. Okay. So first of all, children, we must not compare ourselves with anyone. If we are comparing ourselves with anyone, we cannot have the good feelings. Then, when he started out, she would put in his hand a packet lunch. Once again, the same millet cooked into a little ball, which he could swallow with a raw onion at midday. His fortune had declined gradually. So now the fortune started declining gradually, means slowly, it is becoming a pattern, unnoticed, which he has not noticed also. From a flock of 40 which he drove into a pen at night, his stock had now come down to the 2 goats. So once upon a time he was having 40 animals, and now he is having only 2 goats, which were tethered to the trunk of a drumstick tree which grew in front of his hut, and from which occasionally Muni could shake down the drumstick. So how they all are alive? Okay, which were tethered to the trunk of a drumstick tree. They are getting the food from the drumstick tree which grew in front of his hut, and from which occasionally Muni could shake down drumstick. So when the sticks will fall down, what will happen? They started eating. So plant only eats. Okay, so the stick, the wood, they are not eating. This morning he got 6. So we are going to study about a particular morning which that day some incident happened. He got 6, means he wake up at 6 o'clock. He carried them in with a sense of drum. So drum means happiness. Drum means the sense of success. So he carried them in with a sense of happiness. Although no one could say precisely who owned the tree. So before no one can say that who is the owner of the tree. It was his because he lived in its shadow. So the tree was belonging to whom? The tree was belonging to Muni. Why? Because Muni was spending the time there. Because Muni was under the shadow of the tree. So like that, they were saying that this tree is belonging to Muni. Okay. So children, in the olden days, the things were not like this. That the people, those who are having the registration, who is planting the tree, he is only the owner of the tree. These much things were not there. Okay. And in the village, now also if you go, you can find that vast space is there, and the people are free to go in anyone's agricultural land also. Okay. They are free to go, but they are not allowed to spoil the grains there. Then his wife said, if you were content with the drumstick leaves alone, I could boil and salt some for you. So what the wife is saying, that if you are content with the drumstick, means if you are happy with this plant only and the leaves of this plant, what I can do, I can boil this plant, I can boil the leaf of this plant with salt for you so that you can eat. Oh, I am tired of eating those leaves. So what he is saying, that I am tired of eating those leaves. Now I cannot eat the leaf of this plant. I have a craving to chew the drumstick out of sauce. I tell you. So he is saying that I want to eat this drumstick with the sauce. Okay. You have only 4 teeth in your jaw, but your craving is for big things. So what the wife is saying, the wife is saying that you are having only 4 teeth in your jaw. How many teeth? 4 teeth. But generally, how many teeth used to be there, children? 32. Okay. 32 teeth are there, 16 downside, 16 upside. Maybe you have studied incisors, canines, premolars, molars. 4 are coming at the age of 20 to 30. Their word wisdom is right. So here, why she is saying 4 teeth means he wants to say that you are having the less number of teeth, but your demands are big. All right, get the stuff for the sauce. So the wife is saying that okay, I am ready. I will make sauce for you, but you have to bring all the materials. If only you are bringing the materials, I can make sauce for you, and I will prepare it for you. After all, next year you may not be alive to ask for anything. And see what the wife is telling, that yes, I should feed you. Why? Because next year you would not be alive only, you will die. But first get me all the stuff. So first of all, you bring all the things, all the materials for making the sauce so that I can prepare, including a measures of rice or millet. So first of all, you have to bring the rice also, and rice is not there, then you can bring the millet also. And I will satisfy your unholy craving. So she is saying that you bring all the things, then I will prepare the food. Okay. In simple words, what we can understand? In simple words, we can understand that Muni is demanding the good food from the wife, and wife is telling that you bring the materials, all the materials you bring, and you ask what you want to eat. That I will cook and I will give to you. So this is relatable to everyone who is having the ordinary life, simple life. Sometimes the husbands are demanding, or anyone in the family is demanding that I don't like this thing, I want to eat something more. So the family members are saying, bring the materials, I will cook for you. Okay. And one more thing she is saying, that these things will be used to satisfy your unholy craving. Unholy craving means this is not the demand, this is not the pure demand. Holy means pure, religious. Unholy craving means you are wanting something which is wrong. Okay. Our story is empty today. Half chili, curry leaves, mustard, coriander, ginger oil, and one large potato. So what the wife is saying, that our story is empty today. We don't have anything in the house. If you want to eat with the sauce, you have to bring this much material and one large potato. Go out and get all these. So all these things you bring if you want to have the sauce. He repeated the list after her in order not to miss any item. And when he started going, no, so she repeated also. No, he repeated the list after her in order not to miss any item. So she is going to bring the materials and he is repeating the list and walk off the shop in the third street. So third street, what is there? Shop is also there where she is going. Moni sat patiently on an upturned packing case below the platform of the shop. So below the platform of the shop, where Muni is sitting. The shopman paid no attention to him. Shopman there, he is not paying attention to him. Why? Maybe the shopman is thinking that he has came simply here, he don't want to buy anything. Because never he is coming to buy, he is that much poor person now. Muni kept clearing his throat. So Muni started clearing his throat. He wanted to make his presence visible there. Coughing and sneezing until the shopman could not stand it anymore and demanded, "What ails you?" So he started speaking, "What is the problem?" So he started clearing the throat, coughing, sneezing. Why? Only to make his presence, that you ask why I am here. You will fly off that seat into the gutter if you sneeze so hard. So he is sitting on one box nearby the shop. There used to be box outside also. And that box is belonging to the shop owner. Okay, some materials are there, maybe children. So what is happening now? He is coughing, he is sneezing. So he is speaking that don't sneeze that much hard, otherwise you will fall down in the gutter. Muni laughed inordinately. So while listening to this, what happened? Muni started laughing in order to please the shopman. So if anyone is scolding you at that time, if you are smiling, the person will think that he is a nice person. Or if you are big one, the anyone is scolding you, you started laughing, means you are taking the scolding in light manner. So it is a good personality. So he wanted to please. And being called young man. Or here it is written that Muni laughed because he was called young man by the shop owner. This completely won the shopman over. He liked his sense of humor to be appreciated. So, young man, it was said to him and he became very much happy. And by this what happened, the shop owner also, he became very much started liking him because of his sense of humor to be appreciated. Sense of humor means by this the person is becoming happy. Okay. Sense of humor timing should be correct. That time only you are speaking something which is making everyone laugh. By thus humoring the shopman, Moni could always ask for one or two items of food, promising repayment later. So what every day he was doing? Every day he was making, every time whenever he was going to the shop, he was making the person laugh. Okay. So he was trying to make the person laugh, and he was asking one or two item more, and he was promising that next time I will pay. Some days the shopman was in a good mood and gave him. So sometimes the shopkeeper was in good mood and he is making to laugh and he is asking some items, so he is giving also. But sometimes the shopkeeper is not in good mood. So he will lose the temper suddenly and bark at Muni for daring to ask for credit. So bark means who used to bark? Dog used to bark. So here it is compared like the shopkeeper is barking like a dog. Then how you can ask for credit? Because you are not paying the previous one. Because one time you are taking the materials from the shop and after so many days you are coming here. Every day you are not coming also. Then the shopman said, if you could find 5 rupees and a quarter, you will have paid off an ancient debt. How much have you got now? So shop owner, what he is saying, that 5 rupees and a quarter is your debt. First that you have to pay. Okay, how much you have brought now? I will pay you everything on the first of the next month. So what he is saying, that next month, first day, I will pay you. Okay. As always, and whom do you accept to rob by them? So shop owner is saying, okay, always you are saying this only, that first of the next month you are going to pay. Okay. He is not saying tomorrow or day after tomorrow, 5th January, 6th January, no. First of the next month. When next month will come, when first day will come. Okay. So the shop owner is asking that whom do you want to rob? This much money from where you can get by robbing someone, so he is making fun. Muni felt hot and mumbled, my daughter has sent word that she will be sending me money. So what he is saying, that my daughter, she has written a letter to me that she will soon send money to me. Have you a daughter? Is near the shopman. So now the shopman is becoming surprised and asking, you have a daughter also? And she is sending you money, exclamation mark. And I am surprised that you are having the daughter also which is sending. She is sending you money also. For what purpose? May I know? And why she is sending money to you? Why she is sending money to you? I want to know. Birthday, 15th birthday, said Muni quietly. And now Muni is saying that my daughter is sending me money. Why? Because my 50th birthday is there. Okay, 50-year-old he has become. How old are you? So shopkeeper, see something when we used to find interesting, no, we also used to talk. So now Muni is asking, how old are you? Muni repeated weakly, not being sure of it himself. So Muni he himself is not sure. See, the one who never went to school, the one who is very poor life having children, life of shepherd we can say, they don't remember exactly how many years old also they are. Okay. I remember one child, he was very innocent. When I asked him how old you are, he said that I don't know this answer. My elder brother is knowing this answer. Okay. So here he is saying 50. He always calculated his age from the time of the great famine when he stood as high as the parapet around the village well. So how he used to calculate his birthday or birth year, how many years old now he is, by that time famine came in the village, and that time he was standing on the wall of the village to save his life. So example, that time he was 10-year-old. So now 40 years passed for that incident. So now he is 50 years old. So like that he was calculating his age. So maybe he is not focusing on the years also. But who could calculate such things accurately nowadays with so many famines occurring? Now the question is, in the olden days, very less natural disasters were coming like famines, okay, floods, famines, droughts, okay. But nowadays so many famines are coming. So how anyone can remember now? Because every year we all are facing any part of the country. The shopman felt encouraged when other customers stood around to watch and comment. So now what happened? Other people also gathered and they started talking. They started talking and they started commenting also. More likely you are 70, he said to Modi. So one person is saying that you are looking like 70-year-old person. You also forget that you mentioned a birthday 5 weeks ago when you wanted castor oil for your holy bath. So what one is saying that you forget that 5 weeks back only you had mentioned your birthday. Okay, why you have mentioned your birthday? Because you wanted to take the holy bath. So you wanted to buy the castor oil. Okay. At this Muni obtrusively rose and moved off. So by listening this what happened, he stood and he started moving. So children, what we can say that some people they used to tell lie also. Why? To get the benefit from the others, or we can say to get the support from the others. So many peoples are there in this world, children, those who are good peoples, but because of their survival, they used to speak lie. Because of their survival, they are speaking lie. So when they are speaking lie, what is happening? Others peoples are believing their word and they are supporting them. So they used to speak lie. Then he later told his wife. So now he is returning back to the wife and he is explaining there that scoundrel would not give me anything. Scoundrel means the wicked person, okay, the bad one. So he will not give me anything. So go out and sell the drumstick for what they are worth. So he is saying that now you can go and you can sell the drumstick. And how much money you are getting doing that much money only you go and sell the drumstick. Okay. He flung himself down in a corner to recover from the fatigue of his visit to the shop. He flung, so flung means very high speed, himself down in a corner to recover from the fatigue of his visit to the shop. So fatigue means he was not tired. He was feeling very much low and he was feeling bad, we can say, children, what he experienced at the shop. So he just wanted to forget these things, okay. His wife said, so what the wife said, you are getting no sauce today nor anything else. So children, her wife is explaining that no, you will not get the sauce and you will not get anything else because the materials only you have not brought. The materials only you have not brought. Okay. I cannot find anything to give you to eat. Fast till the evening. Fast means don't eat. Okay, till the evening. I will do you good. It will do you good. also what will happen? Something good will happen to you. Take the boats and be gone now. And you can be hungry, but how the goats can be hungry? So they should eat something more. So take the goats, graze them. She cried and added, "Don't come back before the sun is down, and don't return to the house before the sun is down." Why she is speaking like this? Maybe she is speaking like this because if he is present in the house, he will ask for food. He knew that if he obeyed her, she would somehow conjure up some food for him in the evening. And this man Muni, he was knowing one thing, that if I will obey my wife, what will happen? In the evening, anyhow she will arrange some food for me. So he started obeying also. Only he must be careful not to argue and irritate her. And he is knowing only one thing, that I should not argue. Okay, I should not argue anything, or I should not irritate her. She must not become angry. Her temper was undependable in the morning. So temper means the one who can easily become angry. And it was not dependable, but improved by evening time. So in the morning, she used to be little bit angry at how the day will go, how we can get the food materials. But the evening time, the mood was nearly good one. She was sure to go out and work. Great corn in the big house. So what the work the wife was doing, she was going to the big house which we studied in the beginning of the story, that in the village one big house is also their children. And what this big house is doing, that these people of the big house, they are hiring this lady, wife of Muni, to do the grinding work, grinding corn, sweep or scrub somewhere, to like a helper, like the maid she is working there, and earn enough to buy food stuff and keep a dinner ready for him in the evening. So this much wife is working so that they all can eat, and for dinner they can cook in the evening time. Unleashing the boats from the drumstick tree. So unleashing the boats from the drumstick tree. Unleashing means, leased means tied. Leased means tied. Unleashing means making the boats free to move. Muni started out, driving them ahead and uttering weird cries from time to time in order to urge them on. So now Muni is dealing with the animal, and time to time she is crying, she is making sounds. Okay. He passed through the village with his head bowed in thought. And he is passing the village. Who? Muni. How? Head down, and because he is ashamed, no. See, when the wife is working and the man is not able to work, I cannot say there is any sense of shame. But if anyone is becoming completely dependent and forcing that you only work and feed me and demanding that I want to eat sauce and like this, so that time these things are there. Okay. So if you all are listening me, I ask from all the boys that in future you should provide one atmosphere for all the females that they should work nicely. And I ask from all the girl child that you should study nicely, and you should try to work also in the future, and you should try to earn the money also, where you can use your education nicely. He passed through the village with his head bowed in thought. He did not want to look at anyone or be accosted. So why he is looking outside? Because he don't want to see anyone, or he don't want that anyone catch him that hey, you are the person only, who is celebrating every big birthday and taking the things on the credit, right? So he don't want to be like this. So a couple of cronies longing in the temple corridor hailed him, but he ignored their call. So many people, they were calling him also in the temple corridor, but he ignored everyone. The shopman had said that he was 70. And what the shopman has said, that you are saying you are 50-year-old, but you are not 50 years old, you are 70 years old. 70. Okay. At 71, one he waited to be summoned by God. Summoned by God means the one who is going to the God. How we are going to the God? Which plane, bus is there? Only one is there. We have to die and we can meet God. When he was dead, what would his wife do? So he is thinking that if I will die now, then what my wife will do? They had lived in each other's company since they were children. So now he started thinking about his wife, that after my death, what will happen with her? Because they both were together since childhood. Okay, means they were living in the same village, like that the story is. He had been told on their day of wedding that he was 10 years old and she was 8. And that time child marriage was also in practice children. And when this marriage happened, that time the boy was 10 years old and the girl was 8 years old. Progeny, none. Perhaps a large progeny would have brought him the blessings of the gods. So he is saying that this will bring to the blessings of the god. Progeny means the one who is coming out from his generation. Okay. Only on the outskirts did he left his head and looks up. So when he is leaving the village, that time he is making head upside. He argued and bullied the goats. So he started arguing with the goats only. He started arguing with the goats and bullied. Bullied means the one who is powerful is using his power against the weak. That is called bullying. Example, the muscular child in the class is talking badly with the weaker child in the class. That is called bullying. But nowadays we can see this type of things are not happening anywhere. Okay. And if 1-2 cases are also there, the school used to take the serious action. Okay. So now bullying is not in the practice children, and we should not do this also. The goats until they went along to the foot of the horse statue. So now what is happening with the goats? They are going towards the foot this horse statue on the edge of the village. So this horse statue is found on the edge of the village. He sat on its pedestal for the rest of the day. For the rest of the day, there only on the pedestal, the path for the one who walks on the field, he is sitting there. The advantage of this was that he could watch the highway and see the lorries and buses pass through to the hills. So he wanted to pass his time because maybe in the evening when he will return, he can get the food item. So now he is able to see that so many lorries are passing, buses are passing, that he is able to see. Like this he is passing his time. And it gave him a sense of belonging to a larger world. And by looking this only, he was able to sense a belonging he was having to the larger world. The pedestal of the statue was broad enough for him to move around as the sun traveled up. So the pedestal of the statue was broad enough, that much broad that with the sun evening time he can move. Or he could also crouch under the belly of the horse. Crouch means he can go inside the belly of the horse for shade. Maybe the horse from one side it was worn out, and the person can go inside also with the shade he wanted. So like this he was passing the time. And why he was passing the time? So that finally he can go to the house and he can get the food from the wife. So thank you all children, and I ask all of you to read the story and to do the work more by yourself, because writing the answer is the most important part of studying the literature. Then only we can understand nicely and we can hope for the good marks in the examination. Thank you all. We will continue the story in the second video.